Good evening, this is News Hour here on CUMT Television, Channel 44. I am Juliana E. Kaba, a third-year mass communication student at the Canadian University of Modern Technology. Let's have tonight's headlines.
Residents in Yoni Mamela Chiefdom celebrate the university status granted to Canadian College of Modern Technology.
Kind excitement we get today, it just feel like we salon begin independent. So we're glad over 100% for we Chiefdom, we town, and we district and the country at large for we get this kind of university. Now we own place now.
Poultry farming on the rise in My 91 community.
If you put your hand on poultry farming, they actually see development.
I am a retired civil servant, and the only thing I thought of to help develop myself is to engage into agriculture.
And CUMT Television finds out COVID-19 vaccination in My 91.
And when you take this maternity, you try for prevent some bad thing when they meet your system. If you're able for fighting the soldier man will get support for fighting the sickness when they come.
Now for the full news with Juliana Elfrida Kaba.
Massive celebration broke out in the hometown of the Chief Executive Officer of the then Canadian College of Modern Technology, now Canadian University of Modern Technology, Moksin Sisay Sr. The celebration is in honor of the university status granted to the Canadian College of Modern Technology by the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. Myra Precious Halabi witnessed the celebration in the Finals Inclusive Court.
After several goings and comments, Sierra Leone's Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, on the basis of recommendations from the Tertiary Education Commission, has finally awarded the university status to the then Canadian College situated in Mile 91, Tonkolele District. This university status has brought about joyous conduct to not just students and staff, but community residents of Mile 91 and other surrounding environs as well. It was on such that a massive welcome was organized for the Chancellor of the Canadian University, Moksin Sisay Sr. There were processions from Mamorka village onto the Mile 91 township, where the Chancellor and the rest of the staff and management of the university were accorded with laudable praises. In Mamorka village, Chancellor Moksin spoke of how the university is a product of the people of his community and Sierra Leone at large, and that he was very pleased for such developments. At CUMT, the Chancellor continued to thank all persons and promised that more work has to be done.
Today now about the success of hardworking people them and waiting everyone now this community, starting from the landlords, going to the of families, going to everyone, friends and the staff and everybody will put hand for getting success today. So I will take her from there for express thanks. First of all, we need to thank Papa God. We make everything what you did for so today possible. Today is a day where certain areas, sectors, people, we need for also recognize them. This is a very short thank you we make today. The big one get for come. So, by not going further, I also say a big thank you for all.
Regent Chief of the Mile 91 community, Alhaji Yusuf Barry, was also appreciative of the transformation and could not hide his admiration.
Kind excitement we get today, it just feel like we salon begin independent. So we're glad over 100% for we Chiefdom, we town, and we district and the country at large for we get this kind of university. Now we own place now. It mean more than a lot to we, because before this time, subsequently, we people in the strain, we brothers them, we picking them, we sisters them, for let them migrate them from Musa Wide, for go on another side, for go fend book landing. I feel say that's not a strain. So for now, For there you picking a day within the community, they attend university, at the end of the day, turn back like host, you do whatever you get for do, what you for assist you as a parent to assist you, that's a big achievement.
Lecturer and Director of Marketing at CUMT, Sheku Putka Kamara said that the gracious welcome of the CEO was planned and thoughtfully executed, and that more advancements were on the way for the university.
There was every need to welcome the CEO and Chancellor, Muhsin Sise, because this is a milestone. Most people have spent years in doing these things, but then the outcome has not always been fruitful. And so for the fact that this is one man who has had a vision and is able to actualize it in less than 10 years, I think it's very welcoming. And so that was the thrust to have welcomed him. Now, when you talk university, it's actually creating room for rapid expansion. And that is where the institution is actually going to set a brighter pace. By this, I mean, we now expect a range of programs to begin to run. We now expect massive recruitment, not just for staff, but also for community people who may have other works to do. Because at the end of the day, community service forms a key part of what we do here. So to us, work has just begun, and we're not going to take things for granted because we have a responsibility to ensure that all of the positives that we are known for are now better advanced and far more advanced, because in the end it's about ensuring that we do not continue to decrease, but we increase on the positive strides that we've been doing over the years.
The official launch of the university is expected to be done in January 2022. But what cannot be taken away is the fact that the Canadian University is surely and truly a place where careers begin. For CUMT Television, I am Mariama Pashisalabi, a final year student of the Mass Communication Department at the Canadian University of Modern Technology in Mile 91, reporting.
Following the arrival of the first batch of the AstraZeneca vaccine on the 8th March 2021, the President, Julius Malema, took the first shot of the vaccine on the 15th March 2021. He then encouraged all Sierra Leoneans to take the vaccine. Our reporter, Emmanuel B.S. Conte, finds out how people in the northern town of Mile 91 are responding to the vaccination process.
The government of Sierra Leone, through the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, reported the first case of COVID-19 on the 31st of March 2021. This later followed by a wide range of effort to curb the spread of the disease. However, the discovery and arrival of the COVID vaccine was highly acclaimed and welcomed by Sierra Leone's president and a host of Sierra Leoneans. Here at Man 91 in the Yoni Bana Chiefdom Tonkolili district, Osanatu Moiba, a psychosocial officer attached to the Medicine Sans Frontiers Hospital MSF in Man 91 from the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs, explained to CUMT Television why it is necessary for people to take the vaccine.
And when you take this maternity, you try for prevent some bad thing when they meet your system. If you're able for fight the soldier man will get support for fighting the sickness when they come.
She furthered that the vaccine has no negative effect, hence people should desist from spreading fake rumors about the vaccine.
We don't prove say not a bad vaccine. Then the one the way they free for take them, because some maybe say naturally mean I need to bring back the free, now so they can tell me. Not that now the vaccine are they ignore. Say but me they free the needle. Some they now so they can say. But they not free, they not get no harm in them. If they try for help them. Nobody know they will go look bad thing, they go put them by himself. Like me, I love myself first, then that love that I extend to other people.
One of the vaccinators, Priscilla Rosalind Tarawali, says the vaccination process started in their community in March, but there was a low compliance rate from the community people. But in recent times, she says there has been great turn-up from the residents.
From March, early March, so it's like this now. 8 or 10 months. At first, the cooperation will look low, people will be afraid. Because even when the vaccine come newly, we get people away, they've been just listed for, like health workers, police officers, military, other people and teachers. But people they look afraid. But like we as health workers will not be get no way for escape, because we did at the war front. But now the turn up is great. The reason why the turn-up look great, people they don't see the good thing inside this vaccine. and me go be a clear example. I been get problem with them in food there, so where I don't spend a lot of money, but it not be good men. So I take the vaccine, the first dose. The time when I take the second dose, people are surprised how it went. So me, I know say this vaccine, not a bad thing, not good thing, and it men.
For CUMT News, I am Emmanuel B.S. Conte, student, Canadian University of Modern Technology, reporting.
Poultry rearing in the Marlantuan community in the Yoni Mamela Chiefdom, Tokolili district has helped in the reduction of poverty, unemployment, and has as well contributed in boosting the economy of individuals in this part of the country. This is according to David Boymakano, one of the poultry farmers in the Marlantuan community. Mayama Precious Halabi reports.
Poultry farming is one of the farming systems that is practiced in Sierra Leone, which according to poultry farmers generates high income. But over the years, only few people have engaged in such system of farming in the country. David Boymakano is a poultry farmer in Marlantuan, Tonkolili district, and he says engaging in such type of farming has helped in developing his life, family and community.
If you put your hand on poultry farming, they actually see development.
I am a retired civil servant, and the only thing I thought of to help develop myself is to engage into agriculture. With what I get here, I will not beg anyone for anything again or take little debt anywhere. This has also created employment in my community. There are people who also work here. Sometimes we do give out chickens to people for free.
Fine. Instead of you go do wrong thing where you go so you go do poultry farming.
A trade that provides so much also have some challenges, but according to David Cano, the trade is worth the risks.
The challenge is them plenty somehow because for men fall no easy. As I say.
I am a retired civil servant, and the only thing I thought of to help develop myself is to engage into agriculture. Poultry farming is a very difficult type of farming. I started since 2013 with 750 chicken, and we went up to 1,000. If you are to dedicate in this type of farming, you will see great development in your life. People should try to understand that poultry farming is necessary for our communities.
I don't see say what he actually what I don't see right now. The people in Marlantuan like before them.
He concluded by admonishing people to engage in poultry farming and then pleaded to the government to pay high premium on such system of farming.
Without farming, no food. So it's so important. They create employment.
Everyone knows that without farming, there will be no food. Instead of people getting themselves involved in doing the wrong things, I recommend that they engage themselves into poultry farming. It creates employment for many people and will also be useful for one to empower themselves. With this, you will have enough meat, fresh one, I mean.
They ask government for let's support me. Let us support farming generally. Let us support agriculture generally. Let us support farming.
Reporting for CUMT Television, I am Mayama Precious Halabi, a third-year mass communication student, reporting.
We will be back after this break.
This is the Canadian University of Modern Technology. Here, we move a little differently. We are the change makers, the innovators. We are solving the problems of the 21st century. We create, we lead, we inspire. Beginning your journey at Canadian University is opening your chapter to success. Here, we are a family that works together to make the change today for a better Sierra Leone and world tomorrow. Here is a home for you. Canadian University of Modern Technology, a place where careers begin.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Hour here on CUMT Television Channel 44. stories from across the continent. F.W. de Klerk, the former president of South Africa and the last white person to lead the country, has died at the age of 85.
De Klerk, who was also a key figure in the transition to democracy, had been diagnosed with cancer this year. He was head of state between September 1989 and May 1994. In 1990, he announced he was releasing Nelson Mandela, leading to the historic election that brought the anti-apartheid leader to power. De Klerk shared the Nobel Peace Prize with Mandela for helping to negotiate an end to apartheid, but his legacy divides opinion in South Africa. A statement from the former president, De Klerk's foundation, said that he died peacefully at his home in Cape Town following his struggle against cancer. The foundation had announced the diagnosis, a cancer that affects the lining of the lungs, in June. De Klerk is survived by his wife, Elita, his children, Jan and Suzanne, and his grandchildren, the statement said. The former president was born in March 1936 in Johannesburg into a line of Afrikaner national politicians. He worked as a lawyer and served in a series of ministerial posts before taking over from P.W. Botha as the head of the National Party in February. In a famous speech to Parliament the following year, he announced that he was removing the ban on parties that included Mandela's African National Congress, ANC. He also announced that Mandela will be released from prison after 27 years. His actions helped bring an end to apartheid era in South Africa, and he became one of the country's 2 deputy presidents after the multi-party elections in 1994 that saw Mandela become president. He retired from politics in 1997, saying, "I am resigning because I am convinced it is in the best interest of the party and the country."
The United Nations says that 72 drivers contracted to deliver humanitarian aid have been arrested in the war-torn north of Ethiopia.
It said that the drivers who were working for the World Food Programme WFPA were detained in Samaria, capital of the Afar region. The UN is speaking to the government to establish why they were stopped. The war in Ethiopia has caused a massive humanitarian crisis with more than 5 million in need of aid. Hundreds of lorries are believed to be stuck in the city, prevented from taking the only viable overland route in Tigray. There was no immediate comment on the arrest from the Ethiopian authorities. On Tuesday, the UN said 16 members of its local staff and their dependents in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, has been arrested in raids. The UN has urged the government to release the detainees immediately. Lawyers and rights groups said the authorities targeted ethnic Tigrayans employees. The government denies arbitrarily arresting Tigrayans. Spearheaded by the Tigrayan People Libertarians Front rebel forces, has been advancing towards Addis Ababa. They have been joined by another rebel group, the Oromo Libertarians Army, OLA. In response, the government has declared a state of emergency, calling on citizens to register their weapons and get ready to protect their neighborhoods.
This is where we end News Hour tonight here on CUMT Television Channel 44. I have been your presenter, Juliana E. Kaba. Good night.